So this is some big news coming out of the transfer window. Real Madrid are interested in NICO Williams. And the reason why they want to sign NICO Williams is he has a 58 million release clause, which is very cheap for his actual worth. And his actual worth is possibly up in the 100 millions. So Real Madrid have already gone big in the transfer window. They signed Trent Alexander-Arnold on a free. They signed Dean Housen on 50 million euros. They look like they're gonna sign Alvaro Fernandez or Carreras, whatever you wanna say. And now it looks like they're also interested in another release clause for NICO Williams. So let's get into why NICO Williams would be an absolute banger of a player for Real Madrid. And the first thing is, he's a left winger. So you know the thing about left wingers, we have too many left wingers in the team, and signing NICO Williams does not help when it comes to having too many left wingers, because he's also a left winger. So the thing about him is he's a youngster, he plays at left wing, and we know how good he is based on the Euro 2024, in which him and Yamal, they were cooking. So NICO Williams, he was insane in the Euro 2024, but I will say, him for Athletic Bilbao, this season, he's actually been injury prone this season. He hasn't been playing that much, but when he do play, he does play good. But the problem is though, he's a left winger. He's fantastic, he reminds me of Vinny. Maybe not exactly like Vinny, but NICO Williams, he can take players on. He's a danger at the left side of the pitch, and he would be a good substitution for Vinny. And that's the thing, that's the key factor. I've been hearing some reports that NICO Williams, if he comes into Real Madrid, Rodrigo's gonna have to leave. And that is because Rodrigo is too good of a player, too high quality of a player to sit on the bench for Vinny. To me, he can shine on his own, go to Chelsea, go to Liverpool, go to Arsenal, wherever it is. He will shine there, and he can even get himself to Ballon d'Or contentions. So you heard Rodrigo, he won't sit on the bench. NICO Williams though, he will sit on the bench. But when we compare NICO Williams and Rodrigo, the gap is insane. NICO Williams is not, in my opinion, as good as Rodrigo. Now we know NICO Williams, based on these clips I'm showing you right now, he can play at right wing. Yes, he's very good at left wing, but he can play at right wing. Is he good at right wing? I don't know. I truly don't know if he's good at right wing. But can you imagine maybe the combinations of Vinicius Jr., NICO Williams, or maybe NICO Williams, Mbappe, NICO Williams, or the Gula? You never know. I think he's an interesting player to sign. He's there for the future, and if he doesn't perform, is the 58 million that we spent, is it a waste? If Real Madrid sell Rodrigo for 100 million, and then they buy NICO Williams for 58 more, and he doesn't perform, then I think this is gonna be a huge waste of time. One thing about NICO Williams is I will never truly hate on this player. If you know his background, if you know where he's come from, this guy, I would be happy if he joins up with Real Madrid, because he's a player that I think is Madrid quality. But if he does join Real Madrid, he's gonna have to work himself from the bench to then start over Vinny or Mbappe. Another big thing from NICO Williams is he's Spanish, or he represents Spain. And the thing about him representing Spain is he adds to the Real Madrid Spanish core, in which Real Madrid or a Spanish club, they need Spanish players. NICO Williams, if he comes in, updates the Real Madrid Spanish core, and overall, I think he would be a good addition. 58 million euros, do you seriously pass on that? And the funny thing about NICO Williams is he was wanted by Barcelona last year. And in a similar situation, if he was to join Barcelona, Rafinha, who had a fantastic season this season, if NICO Williams came in, he would have to leave. That's a similar thing we're seeing now. If NICO Williams comes into Real Madrid, Rodrigo is gonna have to leave. And is that the thing that we want to see? Me personally, I don't want to see it. But if it happens, then it just happens. So one of the main things with NICO Williams is he's a left winger, can play right wing, and he will be competition for Vinny. Just imagine this. You in a situation where the team needs goals. They have Vinny Jr. but he's quite tired, maybe fatigued. They sub him off. You put NICO Williams on and it doesn't really change anything. Because NICO Williams is a very similar player to Vinny. Maybe he's not on the same level, but he adds kind of the same things if you look at these clips. Very, very similar. and he can also use his left foot. That is something we can't truly say with Vinny. He can only use his right foot properly. I'm not saying he can't use his left foot, but NICO Williams is better on the left foot. But I've heard some people say that NICO Williams might be overrated. They say that he had a good Euro 2024, but if you look at his stats is kind of similar to a bench player of Real Madrid's Arda Güler. They say that he has similar stats to Arda Güler, maybe just one goal more than Arda Güler, and I think that's insane. With NICO Williams, yes, he was injury prone, but he at least is a starter for Athletic Bilbao. Arda Güler is not a starter, and he's not even a winger. He's an attacking midfielder. But the reports so far are going crazy. I mean, there's even some reports saying that Enzo Fernandez could be a target for Real Madrid. In which, listen, I'm not a fan of Enzo Fernandez. I mean, him as a player, I think he's decent. That's not a player that I think needs to join Real Madrid. He's also from Argentina. If there's any Argentine player that Real Madrid need to sign, it's either Nico Paz or Franco Mastantuono. If that's even how you say his name, I don't know how you say his name. But with all these reports, all these possible signings, I can't wait for the Club World Cup. There's a report I heard about Xabi Alonso. He's looking into the young players, the academy players, and I'm all for this. This is what we need. Similar to how Barcelona uses their youngsters. You know, people always glaze La Masia. They always say Barca's academy is the best, in which it is. You can't even argue. But Real Madrid, I think, also has a good academy, and I think those players deserve some chances. And we have the perfect coach for that, because Carlo, we've said this over and over, Carlo Ancelotti, he would bury the young talent. He would not play them at all. We recently saw Jacobo Ramon. He had a decent performance against Mallorca and a decent performance against Valencia. I think due to the club having centre-back problems, Jacobo Ramon, Johan Martinez, they could come in clutch. But if you thought this is some serious news or shocking news, I think we're in for some more shocking news in the future. The rumors I've been hearing since yesterday already has been crazy. It's been full on crazy stuff that don't even make sense. But listen, this is just rumors at the end of the day. You don't have to fully believe these things. And who knows, in a few hours this could be confirmed as rumors or maybe fake news. Even though it came from Marco and from Fabrizio. So I think it is true, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. We recently saw Luka Modric, he's set to stay. Lucas Vazquez is gonna leave after the Club World Cup. So there's a lot of things going on in the Real Madrid's team right now. But that's it for now. If you enjoyed, smash like, subscribe, turn on notifications.